If you like to learn how to do graffiti Wildstyle, this is the video for you. And hello, my name is What's Up YouTube and YouTubers and graffiti artists. My name is Louis Ning Chang and welcome to my channel. So before we start doing this tutorial, I'm gonna talk and also put some music on during the video. So if you get anything out of this, give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Sketching out the drawing, I'm going to show you one thing I forgot to do is like there are steps to this. I think the first step, second step, third step, and fourth step. But I'm going to show you the what you saw me draw before when I first started out. Here's the original font I got from Google, and it says Saboua, which is Saboua. This is going to be the wild style I'm working on. The graffiti style I'll be working on today. And you notice that I did line over here in the top and the bottom and in the middle. And just to keep the reason I did this, and just to keep the letters in straight next to each other. And I did actually put them a little bit closer because eventually I'm gonna actually connect the letters together. Right. So after I was done with that, that supposed to be the first step, right? Because I forgot to really stop and talk about that. But anyway, and as you know, the second step, keep in mind before I continue that when you draw, you first draw lightly first. Okay, so that's one thing I need to add. We call restating in fine art. Restating meaning that is to draw lightly until you're satisfied, and you could darken the lines when you're ready to, when you're satisfied. Now, the second step is like, that's when I start stylizing the letters. As you saw me, right here what I'm trying to do is did this particular up and down motion. This is like some kind of flow I want to go by. S is up more, A is down a little bit more, A went up, O went down, U went up, and A. I did put it down, but I guess I decided I'm gonna add a little more height to it. It seemed to look better with that. Alright, the next thing I did is connect the letters. Okay, so I connect all the letters together. Some of the letters are actually overlapped. Over here I kept, because it has like the surf right here, so I kept that there. I connected the A and the S, kicked this little loop from this A, still get the surface here. But when I get A and next to A and B, I overlapped the B, and there was a little connection over here. I connected the O with the B, and then I overlapped the O with the U, and connected over here with the A. I might, when I do the inking stage, try to connect it, but I think I'm gonna show you. I think it's best to show you when I finish inking it. Okay. Now the next thing, because I had style, let's bent. These letters over here, they're kind of like straight. I bented it. So if we look over here, what I did, you see, I tried S had like curve. I tried to keep the curves. They did keep. I kept the little straight line here. I curved a little bit. The B, I bented it. And the O, I kept it as is, and a little slide to it, and the U was bent over here, and A was bent. So anything that has like a straight line, I most likely bent it up. Now the next thing I did is connect. Now getting into the extensions and the little bits and pieces. All right, so over here I had a little extension over here to keep it balanced. And then I add these little bits and pieces over here. Comes the arrows all over the place over here. Now the one thing I'm trying to accomplish here, try to keep all the letters tight close together. So actually any negative space between the letters, I filled it in with maybe little bits and pieces of the lettering. I added more arrows over here. So, and that's basically about it so far. I mean, it's a step-by-step process. Work on the fundamentals of the lettering, and then stylize as you go. The next thing I'm gonna do now is work on the perspective. I want this to look like more three-dimensional. I will be drawing it, but add some music. Alright, so over here, if you notice that the perspective I choose is a one point perspective, and I did it in different directions. Okay, I just gonna mess around with the perspective a little bit. And one thing you know is to add these lines over here. I did a cross here and one in the bottom. These are horizontal lines, and this is called viewpoint. This little dot over here. And then when I add the ruler straight down, and anything crossing this way, I just drew the shape of the lettering. So wherever they meet, you just add a little box there to give more three-dimensional effect. Okay, and in perspective, you know, if you align all, you can have 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective, going this way, that way. And only keep this horizontal line, you can do all different directions. You have, if I had a box, I would just twist it this way, that way. As long as I keep this horizontal here. Same thing with the bottom. Wherever in the bottom, these horizontal lines meet here, the viewpoints over here, and connecting all the letters, going any black lines going this lines are going this way. Alright, you gotta think like a box, you know. If you want to know more about perspective, YouTube have videos on perspective drawing, 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point perspective. You go check them out. learn perspective, and this will take your artwork to another level, you know. So I'm still going to continue perspective wise. There's still other pieces I have to meet, but that's what I'm doing on the inking stage. So okay. Over here, I just finished the inking it. The first thing I did is actually to ink. First, do a thin outline, and after that, I just started to go over again with the outline a little bit thicker. Now, if we look over here, where the B is located, the thick to thin, and some of the parts of the lettering has thick to thin on it to get more rarity. And I took a much thicker ink marker and went over like that the outside of the lettering to make it stand out more. Okay, and for, let's say for example, to make it more interesting and something that I ink with, like in terms of landscapes or let's say figurative art, I will actually do that. You know, if I had like a background of a landscape, then the lines be thinner and whatever's in the foreground become thicker. So that's something that I try to do in this artwork and all artworks I do. Now the best thing is best indie ink is the best quality. You go to the art store, go to art to get some pens that have indie ink in it. Okay, it comes with different line points, you know what I'm saying, that the thin, the thick ones, and have different all kind of points on it, different points on it. So this how it came out. Okay, now we're gonna get into coloring. If you want to know more about inking, you could check out and go to YouTube, check out pen ink drawing techniques, or go to comic book inking. And when I first started out inking, I just learned from comic books. I mean, they show you thin to thick and all these other techniques that involved in comic book ink, which is pretty interesting to look at. So we're gonna move on to color now, and okay, so here we go. Here is the coloring part. I'm gonna just let you guys know that the marker I was using for was the water based color markers. I also use alcohol based markers, but I think before I really tell you a little bit about the coloring, um, when I was working for the union, and was involved with a union, and they asked me to do a graffiti art for them. So then again, when they went on by marker, they gave me what I call base markers. I usually use alcohol base markers, but anyway. Then I got the set, so I gotta use it. All right. So we're gonna get into the coloring. I'm gonna talk about the color scheme I've chosen with agnonymous color scheme. And what it is, an agnonymous scheme is always harmonized because agnonymous colors are adjacent to each other on the color wheel, enhancing each other beautiful through subtle gradation from one color to the next. Color mix of 3 or 4 anonymous colors are bright and clear. The color mixtures darken as they move toward complementary relationship. With an anonymous color scheme, you can create a strong deception illumination using gradual changes in value intensity. So we're gonna start right here. Like let's look at the green a little for a little bit now. The color in an anonymous color scheme, that's like 4 little groups of it. So actually, that's like in this one over here is yellow, green, yellow, and yellow, orange, and orange. But no, actually, excuse me. I think I did the green first. Okay, let's start yellow, green, and green, blue, green. So it doesn't have to be exact colors, but it was similar to that. So this over here, that's what I did in this part over here. Okay. So there's a grouping of colors that I did. So over here we got the, let me see, it'll be orange, red, and red violet, which is not exactly, but it has to like I'm looking at like lighter value of the color. We got pink and has a little orange, so it wouldn't been in red, but I wanted to really show that pink in a lighter form. And then we have like, okay, this we have over here, same thing over here. We look over this one over here. It's more like a red, magenta, red, violet, and violet. Well, I did the red and because the violet is much darker, but like I said, I decided to use a lighter version of the purple and also the pink, which is like red is actually the pink. Okay, now over here I just mixed it up over in A right here. So one thing you gotta know about markers, that since the watercolor base, I try to blend over here a little bit, so you have to get while it's still wet. Okay, this is more like a softer edge, and we got the hard sharp edge over here. This is sharp edge over here, and the green I decided to use a darker green, like it comes to all these little details over here. Okay, now when I was done, I had all these colors, and this color scheme right here is agnonymous right here on the lettering. Now for the block letters, I just use gray, and a light gray and a darker gray. And when it comes to this over here, you see the barcode. What I did, the same thing with I just followed the perspective, because actually when you do these barcodes, you have to follow the perspective as you see the letters over here, and something in the top over here. I had a perspective going this way. Remember that perspective thing I did? So what else? Okay, so we're gonna look at blue. And why I choose blue? Well, this is separate from the color scheme over here, but I decided to use blue. I just took any color over here with some orange in it. So I choose the complementarity of orange and blue. So since blue is a light color, I mean it has the cool color, that's good for the background. You know what I'm saying? And of course, since the values, it can be a lighter blue and a darker blue. Okay, that explains my my color scheme. All right. Okay, so one more thing before I show you the whole thing. If you want me to draw your name in graffiti style, let me know. There are links down in the description box below. So if you want to look at the website, Etsy, and on my website, you can also buy. If you want me to do it, you have to buy from me. Or I think that the best way to look at it, if you want like, it could be both ways. It could be you buy an art and also I'll put in a video for you, but I had to type email for you to get permission to do all this stuff. Or if you don't buy anything, I could do it for free in the video only. So I have my email in this YouTube channel, and you can always contact me for that. Okay, so this is the piece. Tell me what you think. If you like it, give it a like, make a comment if you have any questions, and share it with all your friends. Subscribe to my channel. My name is Louis Sing Chong. Thank you for watching.